y'all doing? We're Pete and Randy from Moab Adventure Condos, here with another story of one of our adventures.
Today we want to talk about our trip to Dome Plateau.
Dome Plateau, up in the Dewey Bridge area.
That's right. The trail actually starts at Dewey Bridge. You'll park at the parking lot right next to the old historic bridge.
One important thing to remember, don't try and drive across the bridge.
Yeah, I think
It's not gonna happen.
I think part of it's missing, right?
Yeah, a good bit of it.
Yeah, a few years back, unfortunately, there was a grass fire and the bridge got burned up. But the structure's still there and it's still
Structure
interesting.
there is really cool structure. Look at it.
Yeah. So let's get started. Check this trip out. So after you leave the bridge, you'll start off, and the trail is a pretty straightforward trail. It's basically a dirt road, but pretty quick you get to a spot that's a lot rougher. And then the first thing you'll come up to is this big, huge alcove. Oh, how tall do you think that thing was?
Oh man, hundreds of feet.
Hundreds of feet?
It's tall. It's taller than me and you.
Yeah, it's pretty big. It's hard to even tell on the camera
How big?
what's going on, but it's big.
I mean, what, maybe 3 or 4 story house big?
Way bigger than
Way
that.
bigger than that. You could put a 3 or 4 story house inside the alcove.
Yeah, there you go.
So a lot of room for family and friends.
So after you leave the alcove, you're kind of riding across an open area, and it's a pretty interesting trail.
Yeah, it's a good trail. Like I said, the sights, I mean, there's something to look at everywhere you
One
go.
thing that I thought that was interesting about this area is typically in Moab you have a cliff and a big pile of rubble at the bottom, but these were just sheer cliffs.
Yeah.
And there was nothing at the bottom, and it's kind of a unique way to see the landscape when you're just right down the street. It's so much different.
Yeah.
So the next thing we came to was Boca Arch, and the trail leading into there is a pretty fun trail. You drop down into a little canyon, and we actually kind of got lost.
Yeah, we took a wrong turn.
we make a lot of wrong turns.
We make a lot of wrong turns, but it's part of the...
That's the adventure, right?
That's right. That's part of it, you know.
You never know what you're gonna find over the top of the next hill.
And we did find some cool stuff up there. Big rock we went up out on, we walked out on, and had some cool panoramic views of everything on our way back when we rerouted ourselves to the arch.
That's right. The arch, that's kind of, by the time you get to the arch from Moab, that's where we stopped and ate lunch. So it was a good stop for us. You can get up there, check it out, and you can kind of crawl around on the rocks.
One thing cool about the arches out like this that aren't in the park, these are arches that the average tourist is not going to see. Unless you get out and get away from the tourist spots, the high volume spots, you're not going to see these other arches out there where, I mean, if anybody else was out there that day, we didn't see them. So, you know, you can go out and explore on your own and not be in the crowds. And that's one thing that makes it even cooler to me, you know, is getting out there and seeing this and having time to enjoy it without getting out of somebody's way or being in somebody else's picture or, you know, people passing in front of you. You know, it's just a whole different setting. It's really.
So after the arch, where did we go next?
So that's when we rode up to the Overlook and then looked down upon Castel Valley. Then I think it was, and the river.
Yeah. So the Colorado River's running down there, and actually off in the distance you can see the top of the world. That's probably a little more popular trail, but the view from up here, it was pretty close to the top of the world. I kind of like the way the river went through the valley.
Yeah, you can see the river. I like that.
So after we left the Overlook at Dome Plateau, we headed over to Cave Springs.
Cave Springs, yeah.
And I think that was kind of maybe the highlight of the trip.
Yeah, this was something that's really neat to me. You know, when you read the old Louis L'Amour stories, the cowboy stuff, it's something that he might have been telling a story about back then. It was a cave with a camp. Of course, there was a spring in it, and they had it fixed. This old water trough came out for the cows to, come get water from there. And then I imagine cowboys would have camped there years ago, and I'm telling who took shelter there years ago.
That's right. They had their water trough there. They had kind of done a little work on the spring to get the water out there for their cattle. One thing that amazed me was actually how deep that cave went. It went pretty far back into the hill, and there's like sand dunes.
Yeah, in there. A big sand dune that you walked up and then dropped down almost to another little spring that held water there. There wasn't any water in it then, but you could see the bowl area where water probably gets in the wet season.
Yep. So yeah, if you're on this trip and you're on the Dome Plateau, that is probably the place that you want to stop. If you don't have time for anything else, I would definitely stop at the at the caves.
And on the wall you can see where cowboys almost like they etched their name. JP was one of them. The JP, I think it was 1807. I have to
1907.
1907.
That's those are cowboy glyphs.
Yeah, cowboy glyphs.
Yeah. So after we left that, we there's a guidebook that kind of tells you where to go, and there's like a mining camp up on the top of the hill. But we decided to kind of just freelance our own way around and get lost and go exploring. And we were going down some of these trails, and you could see a little bit of the mining activity. So I noticed that a lot of the trail markers started showing the Kokopelli. It's the Kokopelli Trail. And the Kokopelli is a bike trail.
Bike trail? Like dirt bikes?
No, like a bike, like the tight shorts, short bike trail.
I'm not into that.
Well,
I got too much luggage for that.
Well, some of us can do it.
Some of you can do it.
We hope you enjoyed this video. We have several other videos on our channel that are talking about some kind of out of the way things in Moab that not everybody's going to do. So check out our channel. And then also, if you are in the Moab area on vacation, I'm going to give a plug for our condo, Moab Adventure Condo. They're way nicer than a hotel. They're competitively priced, and there's room to park your side-by-side inside.
Yeah, yep. Convenient to get to everything. We like them.
That's right. So if you have any questions, you want to know some details about this trail or maybe something else in the Moab area, leave a comment below, and we'll get back to you and give you some little insider knowledge of what maybe the best thing to do is.
That's right.
All right, thank you.